Down to the surface. It won't be anything sudden, just like a leaf drifting gently out of a tree, back down to the surface. And as you come back down to the surface, I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see down there below you, or the very first impression that you have as you come back down to the surface. What do you see down there below you?
Red sand.
Red sand. Are you coming off the cloud yet?
Yes.
Are you standing in the sand?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. And I just want you to look down at your feet where you're standing. Are you wearing anything on your feet?
White boots.
White boots. Very nice then. And then I want you to look at your apparel. What are you wearing? What type of garments do you have on?
Looks like it's strange looking.
It's okay.
It's white and angular, different layers of clothes, almost like they're like space clothes, only more stylized.
Oh, very nice. And can you tell if you're a male or a female?
Female.
Very nice. And I want you to just take your hands and hold them up in front of your face and tell me what color is your skin and what do your hands look like?
It's very white. My skin is very pale. And they're long and thin.
5 fingers and a thumb?
Yes.
Very nice. So when you say long, do you say abnormally long in terms of human or a little
just slightly longer than normal.
Oh, very good. And I want you to go ahead and feel your head, on the top of your head. Are you wearing anything or?
Yeah, I'm wearing a headdress.
A headdress, very good. And go ahead and just feel your face. What does that look like?
My skin is very tight. And it doesn't look
Doesn't look human, you say? How does it feel? What about your eyes? How do they feel?
They're very big. There's no whites of the eye, it's just color.
Ah, very good. And you can see yourself then?
Yes.
Very nice. And what about your ears, or where your ears would be? What's there?
They look like spiraling skin.
Oh, very good. Spiraling into a little meatus or a little hole, you say?
Yes.
Or forming them? Okay.
Something like
Very nice. And then, do you have anything with you? Are you any type of ornaments on you, rings, or anything to that effect?
I have a staff.
Oh, very good. You have a staff. And describe your staff for me.
It's made out of metal, different colors on it. There's crystals on each end. It's long. Feels nice to hold.
Very good. And do you use it to walk with, or do you carry it, or is there a harness?
I carry it. I don't walk with it though. I do. Like it helps, but
Understood.
it's
Okay.
not the purpose.
Oh, very good. And is there anyone there in the immediate area with you?
No.
Very nice. And so you say that you're in red sand. I want you to look straight down at the sand and then follow your eyes straight in front of you And tell me, what do you see out in front of you?
I see craters and cliffs.
Oh, very good. And looks like sort of a barren land then?
Yes.
And if you look up into the sky, or what does that look like up there?
Millions of stars. It's dark. The aurora borealis. Some, I don't know. I can see the universe, the galaxy.
Ah, very good. And you said looks like the aurora borealis. So does it look like the atmosphere is sort of shining or shimmering?
Yes.
What colors do you see in the that you could recognize?
Green and blue.
Beautiful. And then if you turn around behind you, what is behind you?
It looks like a complex, like a living quarters. It's round and dome shaped. It doesn't look like human architecture.
Oh, very nice. And as you look at this dome shape, how many structures are there?
There's one, a big one, and there's different structures branching off in a pattern. Like there's one big one in the middle, and there's 12 different branches off of the main building that form smaller buildings.
Very nice. And what color are the structures?
It's white.
Ah, they're white. And as you look at the structures, do you see any entrances or exits there?
Yes.
And what do they look like?
They look like a membrane. It looks like an energetic membrane that you just walk through. There's no door, it's just you.
Excellent. And as you look at the complex or the area, can you see other beings there? Is there anyone else there with you that you could possibly see?
Yes.
And how far away from you are they?
They're just doing various work around the complex. They're probably about a football field away from me.
And as you look at them, do any of them have the staff that you have, or? I know they're a pretty long distance away, but not that you can see.
Not that I can see, but I see one person. It's interesting. He's got like a long, weird, almost elephant nose, and similar eyes. It's like there's no whites. It's just dark. He seems like he's I don't know. He's important. He's wearing a dress, and he has this gold netting, like it's around his shoulders and above his head.
Beautiful.
Like it's weird. I don't know.
That's okay. I want you to remember everything that you're seeing, and you're going to be able to draw it. Now, what are you doing out there? Are you a sentry? Are you standing guard, or what do you think you're doing there?
I'm trying to fix the atmosphere so this place is habitable.
Were you using your staff to do that?
Yes. I was making a grid around the planet. I'm helping with other people.
And so, you say around the planet, or maybe just around the complex?
Maybe just around the complex, I don't know.
And I want you to look to your left and to your right. Do you see others spaced out around the place? similar to you with staffs, or just curious?
They seem to be inside the building.
Understood. And the particular one with the elephant nose, what is he doing? Is he sitting or standing, or what does it look like he's doing or they're doing?
Standing, and he's lecturing a bunch of people who are sitting down in a circle. See, and people are listening to him. He's outside the building. There are people.
Ah, very good. Do you recognize him?
Yes.
Who do you think he is? Because we're going to go close to him, but I just want you, anything that you can recall, just as you observe.
He's my husband.
Ah, very good. And I want you to check your nose. Are you the same species as he is?
No.
Ah, very
I
good.
have a snake-like nose. There's like slits.
Ah, very good. I want you to go over closer to him, and you're going to get there rather quickly in a count of 3, 2, 1, and you're close to him. And when you make eye contact, what happens?
Smiles with his eyes.
Very nice.
And all his students say hello to me. And
What is your name?
sounds weird.
It's okay, you may.
Softly.
Sockley. Beautiful. I had a feeling they were students. And what is your husband's name?
Cornean.
Corny. And what subject matter was he teaching, or what was he explaining to the students?
Something metaphysical. Something about is something like he's a wizard or something.
Oh, very
Magic,
nice.
I don't know.
I've met an entity like this with a nose like this. I'll have to go in and do some research to remember. What is the name of the place that you're in?
Sorkish.
Sorkish. And is that the planet that you're on, or the particular area, that complex that you're in?
It's just a nickname for the area.
Oh, very good. And as you look at the other entities, how many different type of species or races do you see within the students and anyone else in the area?
Seems like almost everybody's different. It's almost like looking at Star Wars.
Oh, very nice. And do you know what galaxy that you're in?
Andromeda.
Ah, you're in the Andromedan galaxy. Very good. And when you look up into the stars, do you recognize any of the constellations from that vantage point?
No.
And how many moons or any orbitals that are in the air that are close enough to see?
See large blue planet and a even larger red one and 5 moons.
So you see a large blue planet and a larger red planet and 5 moons?
Yes. The red planet has like yellow, it's like red and yellow.
And if you know how the moon looks at night when it's full here on the Earth, how much bigger or smaller would you say those moons and planets are?
The red planet is probably 5 times, no, sorry, the blue planet's probably 5 times larger than we see the moon here, and the red planet's probably 20 times. And the moons are varying sizes.
And then that's pretty close to be closer to another planet.
Yeah. I think maybe we're not even on a planet, we're on an asteroid or something.
Ah, very good. Very, very good. I want you to go to where you live, where you and your husband live, and you're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now? Just
It's like it's dug into the ground, but it's dug into the ground, but it still has that same membrane like the doors have, and you walk in the center of the membrane, and it brings you down into the middle of an atrium, and the atrium branches off into 5 different, it's like the atrium is the shape of a pentagram, and each side leads to a different hallway.
ah, very nice. And so, do you think that that membrane sort of transports you from one place down to the atrium? Or you just walk through it and you're in the atrium?
I think it transports you down. It's like a shield, but it feels almost, I don't know, it feels organic.
Very nice. And if you just look, how was the place lit inside?
Blue flames, just blue balls of energy that are infused into these glass spheres. It's not necessarily a light bulb, but it's, I don't know, I can't explain.
But it just lights everything up, huh?
Yes.
And does it have a blue cast of a light on things, or?
No, the light is yellow.
Ah, beautiful. Very beautiful. And do you have any offspring? Can you see your daughter? Where is she at? And is she there?
Mm-hmm.
And where is she at?
She's running through one of the hallways into the atrium to greet me.
Ah, very nice. And go ahead and give a description of her, if you would, please. Loud and clear. It's very easy.
I don't sense that she's my biological daughter. She doesn't look anything like either of us.
Ah, very good.
She has many horns on her head. They're different kinds. Just long black hair.
So she has many horns on her head, and they're different types of horns?
Some of them are spiraling, and some of them are just straight. And she has skin that looks almost like fish skin. And she has yellow eyes.
Beautiful. But you can sense her. Is she smiling? Is she happy to see you home?
Yes.
Very good. And if you communicate with her, how do you communicate with her? Is it verbal or telepathic?
Telepathic.
And what did she say as she runs in to greet you?
She said, "Mommy, I'm glad you're home." Something to that effect.
Something to that effect. It's like mommy's, yes, okay.
Yeah, just expressing joy once seeing me, and that she was bored all day.
Oh, is that what she said? I've been bored all day and she's happy you're home? And what is your position in this? You said you were fixing the atmosphere. What do you think what it is? Does it have a title, what you do?
I'm trying to think. I know that I'm like a scientist or something. It's some sort of like research, or I don't know.
Understood. So you're a scientist. Your husband is an educator.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And you have one child or one offspring that you care for. Very good. Very, very good. I just want you to go to where you sleep at or where you rest at. Does it feel Does it feel, what's the word, familiar, the space that you're in?
It looks like a cave, only like everything's painted really white,
Okay.
and different like stalactites and stalagmites form, like,
From the ground and from the ceiling?
yeah, from like different bookshelves form like, or we kind of just use the architecture to kind of, or we just kind of use the natural landscape to form the room,
Oh, very nice.
and it feels cozy.
Everything's pretty organic, huh?
Yes.
And is there a particular space where you rest at in there, a room?
It's like this pit with stretched out, I don't know if it's skin or something, or stretched out something, almost like a hammock, and underneath like you could like see through, so if you're laying down you can look through and there's a garden underneath.
Oh, very nice. You say, what's underneath?
Like a garden or something, or I don't know, it's like some decoration, like if you were to like break through the little bed, you could be somewhere else. I don't know, it's strange.
Oh, okay. You said a garden.
Yeah, like a little like conservatory or something.
Oh, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, I just wanted you to go ahead and get a pretty good look at that space, but we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward to a very important day that you feel is very important. It will help you tremendously. And we're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. What's going on this day?
I'm flying.
Wow, very nice. Are you flying in a contraption or?
No, something from my heart. My heart looks like it's bursting out light everywhere, and I'm wearing like a similar style of clothes, but they're different because I'm younger, and I feel like I'm radiating energy, and it's spiraling and creating kind of like a sphere around me, and I'm kind of using that body of energy to travel.
Very nice. And where are you traveling? On the planet there, or?
It's a grassy area.
And let's get to all the way to where you're headed to. And you're going to be there, and you're there. So where were you headed?
Home.
Oh, very nice. And where is home?
My planet.
So when you were flying, you were possibly flying through space or dimensionally, or?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You guess so. Maybe through space?
No, dimensionally.
Dimensionally. And where is home for you?
I don't know. There's a waterfall, and everything seems very perfect and serene.
Very nice. And what's going on this day?
Everything. There's a bunch of, lights, little lights floating in the air, and floating through the water. I think it's like a festival of awakening or something.
And the lights, are they decorations or are they entities?
Fairies.
Very nice. And if you look at yourself, are you the same person that you were when you were on the other planet with your husband, with the elephant nose? Look at your hands, look at your body. Are you the same? Or have you moved to another expression of yourself?
I don't know.
That's okay. Now you said you were flying and you had your the energy was coming out of your heart, sort of propelling you and shooting out in all directions. Now you say those are fairies. What size are you compared to the ones that you're thinking are fairies?
I'm much bigger than they are.
You're much bigger than they are. And once again, hold your hands in front of your face and just sort of look at your hands and describe them and your skin or whatever structure or form you have.
And I have like really long and like graceful fingers, but I have a violet tinge to them, to my skin. And I have violet skin. Oh, that's really cool. I have violet skin. I look almost like a fawn, but my eyes are very green, and my face has like spots on them that are white, and there's like a darker purple around my eyes, and it fades out to like a lighter purple. And I have like ram horns and purple hair.
Awesome. What's your name? Do you know? It's okay, you've just gotten there. Let's go ahead and explore. Now you say it seems like there's a huge celebration going on, huh?
Yeah.
And so how many different type of entities or species are there this time?
It seems like everything is full of life. There's just all sorts of different kinds of beings just existing and happy.
Very nice, loud and clear. So, how do you get around? Are you still floating in the air or are you literally walking?
I don't know, it's like walking through the air.
Oh, okay. And just go ahead now. I saw the description of your hands. What about your feet? What do they look like if you look down at them?
They're webbed.
Webbed toes like a duck?
No, it's kind of like, they look like, not like, look like fat chicken feet almost, with a little bit of webbing.
Okay. So how many was that? What do they have? 3 or 4
4.
phalanges? Okay. Any nails on them?
Yes. They have nails at the end. Kind of thick and, I don't know, they don't look, they're not dirty, but they're not like polished or anything.
Okay. Very good. And are there any other entities around that look like you?
Yes.
I want you to go over to someone that looks like you. We're going to have a little communication with them this time.
Okay.
And I just want you to greet them in whatever way you would normally greet them. How they greet you.
We hug, and we fly around each other and embrace, and it's playful.
Ah, very nice. How old do you think you are?
I'm 80, that's not very old.
Ah, very good. 80. I didn't ask you how old you were in the last one. Do you remember?
I don't.
That's okay. So, who was this person that you greeted? What are you? Is there a gender, male or female, or how was it this time?
I think I look female, but I don't know if there's gender or not.
I want you to ask your friend that you just greeted. They might sound a little strange, but what's the celebration for?
Or she said for you, it's for me, it's for everybody, it's for the whole planet. We're going to be shifting into a higher consciousness.
Ah, very nice. Very nice. Do you recognize anyone there? Maybe from this life here on the earth? Does anyone's energy feel familiar? That's okay. So you're literally going through the ascension process, and you say everyone is celebrating?
Yes.
And what made them celebrate all? What's actually happened to signify that it's the ascension? How did you gather that? From your friend, or?
She said that, and everything seems very happy and, like, I don't know, elevated.
Excellent.
Everything's kind of vibrating.
Feels pretty good, huh?
Yeah, everything is perfect.
And I want you to go ahead and describe the atmosphere and maybe the sky and any structures. I remember you said it was very beautiful and there was greenery, is that correct?
The sky is a really deep indigo mixed with like orange and like a light purple. And it's on a ringed planet.
Can you see the rings?
Yeah, because it's tilted and one of the rings is like facing upward.
Interesting. Do you know what planet it is that you're on?
No, I don't.
If not, ask your friend and just see what their response is.
Pliella.
Pliella. Oh, very nice. Pliella. You know, I want you to go where there are some elders or some. If you guys are ascending, I know there's someone on the planet that has a lot of information, someone who would be considered a sage or an elder or a council member, of someone of importance, or maybe even a religious leader. And I want you to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now?
I'm at this altar and the person almost looks like a sea creature, like their body, but they have multiple faces on their face.
Oh my. Do you get a feeling that they know a lot of information, huh?
Yes.
I want you to approach them. Are you able to approach them?
Yes. It's a very strong but inviting energy.
Oh, very good. And I want you to introduce yourself and tell them that you're bilocating from the earth. And could you ask some questions, please, to clarify your experience? They'll understand.
Yeah, they agreed.
Ah, very good. Well, tell them that you're bilocating from the earth, from Gaia, and you had a desire to know what was the process that was taking place there where you are. What is... Does that make sense? Okay. Take your time.
It's hard because he's not communicating with words. It's just this really warm feeling shooting out of my head and my chest. I feel like really hot.
Is he giving you, or is he showing you any images in your head or anything?
He's just giving me sensations and feelings.
Ask him is he familiar with the earth?
He is.
And ask him, what could he tell you about the earth? Please.
It's waking up. It's like a seed that's ready to burst out of the soil.
So he's familiar with the earth going through the ascension process then?
Yes.
And when you arrived there, you felt like that planet was going through the ascension process as well. Is it tied in any way to what's happening on the earth?
There's a mass awakening. And darkness is being dispelled. And everything is being illuminated.
And how did you come to be on the earth from that place? Is that where you came from before you were on the earth? Could he answer that question? Very good. And what brings you to where you are there? Had you had an incarnation there before?
So just to enjoy it.
And as you're communicating with this entity, which one of the faces is communicating with you? Just one of them or all of them?
The first face is, I don't know, they both are all saying different things, different overtones and undertones of the meaning of what he's trying to say. But the direct meaning comes from like the main face, the front face, but different. I don't know. I can't explain it really.
Understood. And
different nuances, I guess.
Yes. Very good. And just ask while you have the opportunity, since you're there, is there any message that they could give the earth to help them in this process? Because I have a feeling that entity is very wise.
He said to be like fire, just to burst forth energy, to release anything pent up, and that we suppress ourselves, and that we just need to burst forth. And it's going to be sick and ugly for a while, because the world is going to see its own darkness. It's going to cease to lie to itself, and that we each as individuals need to cease to lie, and we're like pockets of pus that just need to burst open and to be healed. In order, it's going to be ugly, but then it'll be beautiful, because we'll learn how to feel.
We are already experiencing or becoming aware of the ugliness now. And some people are more aware than others. Very good. And that particular celebration that's going on, did we already find out what was that for?
Yes, because they are shifting to an even higher state of consciousness. Like, I think they're currently at a fifth dimension, or I can't explain.
That's okay.
Fifth or fourth or something. And they're going to go even higher.
And as they go higher, is the earth moving into the fifth dimension then?
Yes, it's going to bypass the fourth dimension and go into the fifth dimension. And that higher beings are shifting into even higher vibrations, so that like energetic stagnancy and all other, so that this kind of thing doesn't happen again, so that it just can't.
Understood. Understood. And how, you say you're 80 years old and you're really young.
Yeah.
How old do the entities there, how old do they live to be? Or until they decide to shift? How long can they hang out in?
Thousands of years. Well, he can. The person I'm talking to seems like he's thousands of years old. And yeah, he can live to be 5,000.
Oh, very good. Very, very good.
Well, I think you can live longer, but people just lose interest after 1,000.
And then they shift into different expressions of themselves in different dimensions.
Yeah, they do it seamlessly. There's no death. I don't know, it's just people, I don't know, it's seamless.
I understood. It's very understood, even if you don't. It'll make sense it makes sense to me, and it'll make sense to a lot of people. So what is your purpose of being there now? Why are you there now? Why did you go there from where you were before? Because it was something significant that you were there for.
Cell memory. I needed to be in my DNA so I can remember so I can transport this information to here, other places.
Very, very good. Very, very good. And I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, feel the relaxation moving through your body, and your vibration begins to rise even higher, even higher. And is there anything else that the entity that's there would like to share before we shift once again to another place? And we would be very grateful if there's anything at all.
He's smiling at me, almost in a scolding way, like there's no need for me to feel the way I do, it's useless. I just need to just completely just give up all my baggage and just set fire to it.
Very good. And I want you to ask Kitty, direct you into the direction where you could connect with your guardians and guides, so you can have a more one-on-one for some of the questions that you came to really delve into. Because I know he can see what's going on with you.
Yes, he opened up a portal and told me to go through there.
Very good. We want to just go ahead and look back once again at the beautiful planet. And I want you to remember everything that you've seen. I want you to thank them for the information that they've given you, and you're very appreciative. And go ahead and go into the portal, and it's going to take you to a sacred place where you can communicate with your guides and your guardians. And go ahead and leave, and you're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now, Snow?
I'm in a forest. It's very mossy and almost mystical looking. There's fireflies.
Beautiful.
Different mounds with lights coming out. Different fairy fortresses.
Very good. And there's someone that's coming to greet you. Who is this?
I've seen him before. His name's Morlian.
Morlian, nice and loud and clear.
Morlian.
Morlian, and go ahead and greet Morlian. How does it feel to be there with him again?
Feels good. Feels healing. I had to go to the bathroom really bad though.
Oh, very good.
Unfortunately,
Don't worry, you'll be able to get right back there with no problem whatsoever.
okay.
And I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale. And temporarily you're just going to disconnect from where you are, but you'll be back there in the count of Morlian. Okay?
Should I get up?
Okay. Cameron's going to come over and he's going to grab you by your hands. And he's going to help you up, and I'm going to come around and unlock.
Should I close my eyes and keep them closed, or?
It's okay. Yeah. You can walk right on. You'll be fine.
Sorry. Thank you.
No worries. It's coming, but I know it just makes one feel better. It would make me feel better. Okay.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. I knew she was gonna go somewhere crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, that thing that she said that she last saw was what she saw when I did it to her. Morning, whatever.
Oh.
She said it's like a little root elemental. It looks like a root or something.
I think it was really fascinating because there was another person that did a session with me, and there was a person with an elephant nose that was there in the whole 9 yards. So that's the second elephant person that they saw that you know.
When I had my eyes closed. like when you're asking her questions, it's not every question, but sometimes I would see them, and then she would say it. Like, I saw a drowning, or however you pronounce it, and she said it.
That's what my nephew did. I could put him under so easy. I could count to 10 and he'd be under. And so he was there while his stepson that was there. And I said, go under with him. And he just closed his eye and boom, he was there. And I remember they were arguing about this big tree that they saw.
Thank you.
Very good. How are you feeling?
Good, thank
Okay.
you.
So just go ahead and have a seat.
Okay.
And wrap yourself back up again. And then I'll do a really quick one now to get you right back to where you were.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. How do you feel?
Good, thank you.
How real is it?
Really real, it's cool.
Uh-huh. You're like, cool. I'm gonna go like this.
Okay.
And just close your eyes and pull it back over your eyes. And take a long, slow, deep breath.
Okay.
And feel the relaxation moving through your body.
Okay.
Very good. All right, I'm gonna count to 10 and I want you